Have you ever stopped to think that even at 70 years old, you can do incredible things that many cannot? Society tends to underestimate what is possible after a certain age, but the truth is that with the right mindset, you can make this phase of your life one of the most meaningful. In this video, we will reveal 11 things you can do now that many overlook, and believe me, these practices will not only transform your life, but will also inspire those around you. Get ready for a new perspective that can change everything. Let's get started. Number 1, cultivate inner tranquility. Cultivating inner peace at age 70 is one of the greatest gifts anyone can give themselves. After all, what is true peace if not control over one's mind and emotions? Stoic wisdom, as taught by Epictetus, reminds us that we cannot control the external world, but we do have complete control over how we react to it. Many people get carried away by everyday worries and anxieties that come and go, but a true sage finds serenity within himself. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor who, despite all the pressures of his time, practiced inner calm. And this is not just for emperors, it can be for anyone who wants to live according to the principles of Stoicism. One of the most practical ways to achieve this tranquility is, without a doubt, the habit of conscious breathing. A simple but powerful exercise. Set aside 5 minutes in the morning to inhale deeply, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly. This does wonders for the mind and body. Epictetus said that peace is in the interval between action and reaction. And that's where the practice of conscious breathing comes in, creating a space for you to respond to life wisely instead of being swept away by the current of negative emotions. Do this exercise while walking in the park or even while making your morning coffee. Another point that strengthens inner tranquility is the ability to detach yourself from the opinions of others. Seneca, the great master of Stoicism, spoke about the importance of not worrying about what people think. At 70 years old, many already carry a baggage of experiences, but external expectations can still weigh on you. The secret is to remember that the judgment of others is just one perspective and should not interfere with your inner balance. As Seneca said, "We are unhappy because we trust the opinion of others more than our own." So, what really matters is how you see yourself. Cultivating tranquility is not just about meditation and silence. It is also about living in the present, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us in his Meditations. How often do we get lost in future worries or past regrets? True peace lies in appreciating the now, the present moment. Look out the window, feel the fresh air, listen to the birds. These little things, when appreciated with an open heart, bring a deep sense of serenity, and with that, we can pave the way for something even greater. Number 2, appreciate the present moment. Appreciating the present moment is a central tenet of Stoicism, and it's never been more important than in our 70s. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, repeatedly reminds us that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and all we truly have is the present. But with so many distractions around us, it's easy to get lost in worries that are often beyond our control. The key to finding peace and happiness is, as Epictetus would say, to focus on what we can control. And the present moment is the only thing we have real control over. This practice transforms ordinary life into an extraordinary experience. But how do you do this in a practical way? Start with the little things. Next time you're drinking your morning coffee, instead of rushing through it, savor each sip. Feel the aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the flavor filling your palate. This simple act of mindfulness is one of the most powerful Stoic teachings. It's not about doing something extraordinary, but about being fully present in what's happening right now. Seneca said that many people live as if they were eternally preparing for life, but forget to live in the present. At age 70, many people find themselves reflecting on the past or worrying about what the future will bring. But what Stoicism teaches is that such worry is a waste of energy. Appreciating the present moment is like watering a garden. Every little drop of attention nourishes the mind and heart, making them healthier and more resilient. A simple example is to enjoy a walk outside. As you walk, notice the trees, the sky, the sounds around you. Let your mind wander through this scenery without thinking about what will come next. This exercise helps reinforce the idea that true life is lived here and now. Most importantly, when you live in the present, you create space for gratitude. And gratitude is a bridge to tranquility. Marcus Aurelius often mentioned in his reflections how we should be grateful for what we have, because life is uncertain. Appreciating the present is, in essence, a form of gratitude. When you begin to see the world through these eyes, even the most ordinary moments take on a new depth. And in doing so, we open the door to other great wisdom. Number 3, make decisions calmly and wisely. At 70 years old, life teaches us that making decisions calmly and wisely is an invaluable virtue. Stoicism reminds us, through the words of Epictetus, that we should reflect before acting, understanding that our actions have consequences. In youth, impulsiveness may have dominated many choices, but the wisdom acquired over the years allows each decision to be made with more clarity and purpose. This does not mean being indecisive, but rather considering calmly and rationally, as Marcus Aurelius did when governing an empire. After all, wisdom does not lie in knowing what to do all the time, but in having the patience to wait for the right moment to act. A practical exercise for making decisions calmly is the practice of emotional detachment, a central concept in Stoicism. When faced with a difficult choice, step back from the situation for a while. Give yourself time to think, without the immediate pressure to respond. Ask yourself, what would Seneca do in this situation? Would he act driven by emotion, or would he seek a more thoughtful response? Putting some emotional distance allows you to assess the situation without being controlled by your emotions. This makes your choices more thoughtful and less reactive. Another important point is to learn not to be dominated by the fear of making a mistake. Often, at 70 years old, people worry about how much time they have left and are afraid of making the wrong decision. However, Stoicism teaches that mistakes are part of the journey. Seneca stated that wisdom comes from reflecting on experiences, not from the fear of making a mistake. Therefore, when making choices, know that even mistakes can be precious. After all, every decision, right or wrong, brings us closer to a fuller life and in tune with our true essence. Making wise decisions also involves knowing how to say no. At 70, it is easy to feel pressured to please others, but Stoicism reminds us that we should prioritize what is aligned with our values and not what others expect of us. Marcus Aurelius said that time is the most precious resource we have. Use it wisely. Saying no to things that don't add value to your life is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. And by doing so, you make room for what really matters. And that brings us to another essential aspect of life. Number 4, be a mentor to the younger ones. At age 70, life offers a unique opportunity to be a mentor to younger generations. Stoicism, as taught by Epictetus and Seneca, reminds us that true wisdom is not hoarded for oneself, but must be shared. Throughout your life, you have learned valuable lessons, faced challenges, and discovered ways to overcome adversity. Now you can pass on that wisdom, helping younger people navigate their own journeys. Being a mentor does not mean having all the answers, but being there to guide with calm and perspective. Just as Marcus Aurelius sought wisdom from his predecessors, today's young people can seek their own. But how do you become a good mentor? The first step is to listen. Often, young people are not necessarily looking for immediate advice, but rather for someone who will listen and understand. Epictetus taught us that before speaking, we must listen carefully to fully understand the situation. A good mentor offers advice based on real experiences, but also allows the young person to draw their own conclusions. Share your stories, but do not impose your opinions. Remember that the role of a mentor is to light the way, not force the direction. Mentoring also means teaching by example. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, often spoke about the importance of living by one's own principles. At 70, you have the chance to inspire through your actions, showing younger people that it is possible to live by Stoic values, whether through patience, resilience, or the ability to find serenity in the midst of chaos. Your actions speak louder than words. Marcus Aurelius believed that a person's character is shaped by the daily practice of virtues, and this is something that young people notice and learn, often without you having to say a word. Remember that learning is a two-way street. When you mentor younger people, you also learn from them. This exchange of experiences enriches both of you. No matter your age, there is always room to grow, and young people with their fresh perspectives can bring insights that you may never have considered. This dynamic interaction between the wisdom of the elders and the energy of the younger ones creates a cycle of continuous learning, and with it comes the opportunity to practice something even more profound. Number 5, practice daily gratitude. Practicing daily gratitude at age 70 is one of the most powerful habits a person can cultivate, especially in the light of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the importance of recognizing the blessings present in one's life, even in the face of challenges. Gratitude, in this sense, is not only a feeling of joy for happy moments, but also a way of recognizing the value of adversities and obstacles that have made us grow. When you wake up, take a few minutes to think of 3 things for which you are grateful. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from appreciating what you have, without desiring what is beyond our control. The interesting thing is that this exercise can be done in a simple way, but it profoundly transforms the way you face the day. Think, for example, of the moment you get out of bed in the morning. Something so ordinary, but it deserves appreciation. Gratitude for the body that still moves, for the mind that still thinks clearly, for the opportunity to live another day. Seneca reminds us that each morning is a gift, and that by cultivating gratitude, we connect with what really matters in life. This puts the focus on the present, pushing aside worries about the future or regrets about the past. Another point is that gratitude should not be just an internal feeling, but an expressed practice. Thank the people around you, even for small gestures. A simple example: when you receive help, whatever it may be, express your genuine gratitude. By doing this, you not only create positive energy around you, but you also strengthen your relationships. Remember that, as Epictetus said, we do not control the behavior of others, but we control our attitude towards them. Gratitude, when shared, has the power to transform trivial interactions into meaningful moments. When gratitude becomes a daily habit, you begin to realize that even challenging situations bring opportunities to learn and grow. In your 70s, you often look back and see the ups and downs of life. By practicing gratitude, you recognize that even the hard times have contributed to the person you are today. This acceptance opens the door to greater serenity and inner peace, which prepares us to deal with the inevitable difficulties that may arise. But this is a conversation that leads us to another essential point. Number 6, facing death with serenity. Facing death with serenity is one of the central principles of Stoicism, and it is particularly relevant at the age of 70. Marcus Aurelius, in his Reflections, constantly reminded himself of the inevitability of death, not with fear, but with acceptance. The goal is not to despair at the idea of the end, but to understand that it is part of nature. When we understand that death is just another phase in the cycle of life, we can live more peacefully. Epictetus taught that we should only worry about what is under our control, and death is definitely not. By reflecting on death in a Stoic way, many find a new way to value life. Knowing that time is finite encourages us to make the best use of it. A practical example would be to reconsider how we spend our days. If we knew that every moment counts, would we change our priorities? Would we dedicate more time to the people we love? Would we enjoy our hobbies more, or would we dedicate more time to our own inner peace? This reflection can be profoundly liberating, and rather than being a somber thought, it gives more purpose to life. Seneca, in his letters, often discussed the importance of not fearing death, but rather regretting not having lived to the fullest. This is something we can apply, especially in our 70s, when the wisdom we have acquired allows us to look back and recognize that even the difficult moments had their value. Facing death with serenity means understanding that while we are alive, we have the chance to live according to our principles. And when the end comes, we will be at peace, knowing that we have lived with dignity and awareness. Serenity, therefore, comes from accepting that life and death are complementary. By reconnecting with the idea that death is a natural part of existence, we can find a deep calm to deal with whatever adversity life presents us. It is not about resignation, but about strength. As Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgment of them." Facing death with serenity is also a way of learning to no longer fear anything. And with that, we prepare ourselves to make choices with more clarity and focus, which leads us to another essential lesson. Before we continue with number 7, if this video is making sense to you, comment longevity, and let's continue learning together and improving our lives. Number 7, choose life priorities clearly. At 70, life teaches us that choosing priorities clearly is essential for a peaceful and meaningful existence. Stoicism, through the teachings of Epictetus and Seneca, reminds us that we cannot control everything around us, but we do have the power to decide what really matters. Time becomes an even more precious resource, and therefore each choice must be made wisely. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, encourages us to focus on what is within our control, filtering out what is essential and leaving aside distractions and superficialities. This is one of the keys to living with serenity and purpose. A practical example of how to choose life priorities can be reflected in how we decide to spend our time. At 70, it is common to want to be closer to those we love, such as friends and family, instead of worrying about trivial matters. Prioritizing these moments of human connection, which truly bring joy and fulfillment, is a wise choice. Just as Epictetus said that we should focus on what we can influence, we should apply this concept when deciding who to share our moments, our energy, and our affection with. But choosing priorities also means knowing how to say no to what doesn't add value to our lives. Often, the expectations of society, others, and even our own can push us down paths that no longer make sense. In our 70s, it's important to reevaluate what really matters. Seneca often spoke about the need to not waste time on irrelevant concerns. This might mean letting go of commitments that drain our energy, such as social obligations that no longer resonate with our values, or even setting aside ambitions that no longer make sense. When we clearly align our priorities, we begin to live more intentionally and meaningfully. In doing so, we feel more at peace because we are focused on what truly brings meaning to our existence. With our priorities well defined, it becomes easier to remain calm in the face of life's challenges, knowing that we are investing our time and energy in what really matters. And this brings us to another crucial point we must consider for a life well lived. Number 8, be more resilient in the face of challenges. At 70, life has already presented many challenges, and with them comes the opportunity to develop resilience. Stoicism, with the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, teaches us that obstacles are inevitable, but how we face them is completely within our control. Being resilient is more than just enduring hardships. It's about learning from them and continuing to move forward with a calm mind. Marcus Aurelius, for example, believed that adversity was an opportunity in disguise to exercise virtue. Each challenge becomes a test of our inner strength. Throughout your life, you've probably faced loss, illness, or even unexpected changes. What sets a resilient person apart is the ability to adapt and keep moving forward, even in the most difficult situations. A practical example might be facing illness or a major loss. Stoic teaching suggests that instead of focusing on what is beyond our control, we should direct our energy toward what we can do. This could mean seeking treatment, strengthening ties with loved ones, or simply maintaining a positive attitude despite circumstances. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Resilience is also built on a daily basis in everyday situations. Seneca talked about the importance of being mentally prepared for life's challenges so that when they arise, we can face them with calm and clarity. A simple example would be when things don't go as planned. Instead of reacting with frustration or discouragement, a resilient person takes a deep breath, adjusts their expectations, and moves on. This applies to both big and small issues, such as when a travel plan is cancelled or when a routine activity becomes more difficult over time. This ability to adapt and inner strength is at the heart of Stoicism. By being resilient, we avoid falling into the trap of victimizing ourselves and instead take responsibility for our attitude in the face of adversity. And it is with this strength that we can focus on what is truly within our reach, controlling our reactions. This is a fundamental point that prepares us for the next lesson on maintaining control. Number 9, keep control over your reactions. In your 70s, the ability to maintain control over your reactions becomes a vital skill. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control what happens around us, we do have complete control over how we respond to those situations. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasizes that the key to a serene life is to focus on our own actions and reactions. It is as if life were a stage and we are the actors. What matters is not what happens, but how we choose to act in the face of the circumstances. This brings a powerful sense of empowerment, especially when life presents us with challenges. A practical example of maintaining control over reactions can be seen in situations of conflict. Instead of responding impulsively to criticism or a stressful situation, the Stoic person pauses. Ask yourself, is this reaction really necessary? Am I reacting emotionally, or am I responding wisely? This space for reflection allows you to choose a response that reflects your values and principles. Seneca taught us that true wisdom is knowing when and how to act, not simply reacting to external stimuli. The practice of maintaining control over your reactions also involves cultivating self-compassion. Sometimes it is easy to be critical of yourself, especially in times of failure or difficulty. Stoicism reminds us that we are all human and subject to error. Instead of beating yourself up, seek to understand what the situation is teaching you. As Epictetus said, it is not events that upset us, but our interpretation of them. This perspective helps us to remain calm and clear, allowing our reactions to be guided by a deeper understanding. By mastering this skill, life becomes a little easier. When you maintain control over your reactions, you not only feel more balanced, but you also inspire others to do the same. The way you react can set a powerful example for friends and family. It leads us to reflect on how our attitudes and behaviors can impact the environment around us, creating an atmosphere of peace and understanding. And this reflection takes us directly to the importance of valuing the simplicity of life. Number 10, value the simplicity of life. At 70, appreciating the simplicity of life becomes a path to true happiness. Stoicism, as taught by Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, invites us to recognize that true wealth often resides in the simplest, most everyday things. In a world full of distractions and superficialities, finding joy in the little things can be a true act of rebellion. Instead of constantly seeking more, Stoic wisdom teaches us to appreciate what we already have, from a cup of coffee in the morning to a peaceful walk in the park. It is in simplicity that we find inner peace. Practicing simplicity can be done through small daily gestures. A practical example is disconnecting from social media and the incessant demands of technology for a while. This allows you to appreciate the beauty of the world around you, such as the song of birds or the smell of wet earth after rain. Simplicity helps us focus on the present, remembering that happiness is not found in material possessions, but in lived experiences. Epictetus taught us that true wealth is peace of mind, and this is achieved when we choose to value what really matters. In addition, simplicity can be an act of self-care. Instead of overwhelming yourself with commitments and obligations, take some time to relax and reflect. Reading a good book like Marcus Aurelius's Meditations can be a wonderful way to reconnect with the simplicity of life. As you delve into its pages, you will find not only entertainment, but also wisdom that can be applied to everyday life. This practice of slowing down teaches us to listen to ourselves and understand our true needs. By valuing simplicity, we create space for the essential and for what truly brings us joy. This approach helps us live more consciously, perceiving the beauty in the little things and cultivating gratitude. In this way, life becomes a mosaic of precious moments where every moment counts. This reflection on simplicity leads us to an important aspect: how we can inspire others with our life example. Number 11, inspire others with your life example. At 70, you have a wealth of experience and wisdom that can be a light to others. Stoicism teaches us that through our actions and attitudes, we have the power to inspire those around us. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of living by our principles, not only for our own benefit, but to serve as a positive example for others. Every small action you take, every decision that reflects the wisdom you have accumulated over the years, can have a significant impact on someone's life. A practical example is the way you deal with challenges. By demonstrating resilience and a positive attitude in the face of adversity, you show others that it is possible to face difficulties with dignity and strength. This can inspire friends, family, or even strangers to adopt a similar approach. Epictetus said that true education is that which transforms not only the mind, but also the character. By living authentically, you not only teach, but also give others permission to do the same. In addition, sharing your life stories and learnings can be a powerful way to inspire. Organizing gatherings, whether formal or more casual, where you share your experiences, can create a space for learning and connection. Often people younger than you, or even those in your own age group, are looking for guidance and advice. By opening your heart and showing your vulnerability, you show that everyone has faced struggles, but that perseverance and wisdom are rewarded. This aligns with the Stoic teaching that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. What's more, by living mindfully and striving to be a positive role model, you not only enrich your own life, but also the lives of others. Life becomes a stream of inspiration, where one act of kindness or one example of courage can influence many. This reflection on the impact we can have leads us to understand that true fulfillment lies in how we touch the lives of others, and this is something that resonates deeply with Stoic teaching. And so, we continue to explore how applying these principles can transform the lives of those around us. These are just a few of the many things you can do at 70 that many still can't. The wisdom you've accumulated over the years is a treasure, and Stoicism can help you live it fully and authentically. If you like this video, comment "I love wisdom," leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to continue watching more content like this. Let's seek the best of this phase of life together. Big hug, until next time.